Hello, and welcome back to ONC on Ground News Channel. Today we have multiple updates on the Tigrayan conflict in the north of Ethiopia. Today is Wednesday, and this is your update. Firstly, let's talk about the current situation in the A2 highway currently between Weldia and Desi, where most of the conflict is going on at this moment. We have had multiple reports of fighting in Wajale and Wargesa, um, although we are not confirming that Wajale and Wargesa have been taken by the TDF. There has been also confirmed uh, TPLF fighters in hike as well, but it is unclear as how far um, these soldiers TDF forces have gone down this highway, but it is confirmed that there is fighting near Wargesa and Wujale. If we look at this map currently, it shows the fighting near Wargesa. It doesn't show Wujale being taken, nor does it shows any movement around this A2 highway. There has been recently photos being taken around this highway which shows losses and gains for both Ethiopian National Defense Forces and also the Tigrayan Defense Force. There has been photos of Tigrayan National Defense Forces capturing Ethiopian army equipment, such as these two tanks. Same thing with this, same as this picture that shows a Republican Guard equipment. This new tank vessel also has been captured. It was reported around 16 tanks and around 30 weaponry, advanced weaponry were captured. So it isn't really confirmed, although this picture gives a good idea of how advanced the weaponry is. This is a grenade launcher. Um, um, as well as new updates occurring from Debre Zebit and Falakit. So recently, past yesterday or 2 days ago, Debre Zebit has been confirmed as been captured by RSF and ENDF forces. We called this for ENDF around a week or 7 days ago, although there has not been any confirmation. So we just had confirmation of the forces arriving in Debre Zebit, although we have no indication that Philgate has fallen. So it's a really great area, as well as Geshena, which has been quiet for the past 3 days or 5 days. After the counterattack from the TDF forces, it is unclear that Geshena is under TDF forces or under ENDF forces. Um, as you can tell, most of the forces that have taken Gashena came from Kon, which is a major town in this region. Um, they did push from the south and captured Gashena, which allowed the rest of the offensive forces from TDF to fall. Um, these new pictures showing these forces have arrived, especially this picture right here, which shows um, RF, ARF, Amhara regional forces, and ENDF forces taking Debre Zebit. This has been geolocated and has been confirmed of ENDF forces arriving in Debre Zebit. So we have confirmed that, but we have not confirmed the Wujale and Wargesa where reports of heavy fighting are happening. We also have we have geolocated information of this photo, which shows, let me get a better picture, which shows this man wearing um, Republican Guard uniform and beret, as well as uh, advanced weaponry, which would be likely held by Republican Guards. Um, we have had reports 3 days ago of Republican Guards engaging in North Wollo by TDF forces. This has been geolocated to south of Mursa around these mountains at this point right here. So you can tell that Mursa around these highways is where majority of the fighting is happening. Other news, we can also confirm that in Berhale, right outside the border, there was an offensive to try to take Berhale, although it was unsuccessful. It was unsuccessful, and TDF forces have failed um, to get Berhale. Uh, we've had pictures showing guns, ammunition, trucks in fire, and also ID cards of soldiers and officers by the India forces capturing these. For example, this is an image that was captured in Berhale showing an ID card of a soldier, another ID card of another soldier, although I wouldn't say this is a soldier, maybe a citizen, a civilian who might have taken up arms and weaponry captured near Berhale. This indicates that the Berhale offensive is probably weak. Another indication is that Berhale is most likely more defended. There might be a perimeter. Far regional forces are trying to defend their land more likely than attack. So this offensive has failed with the images that we just saw. Another push we've seen is this push right here where there has been fighting around Debark, around these mountains. Um, there has been a sort of push through these mountains. Another news is the Checho church between Nefas Machao and Debre Zebit. There was a church called Checho Medallianum, which was released. There was photos released of the church having the roof completely blown apart. This church is geolocated and it also shows parts of the roof have fallen and most of the items inside were destroyed. This is a better image. This kind of shows the fighting that took place between the Rizabit in order to take it. Lastly, if we look at the Wikipedia map, it is a drastic difference from what we've seen from other maps that are confirming rather than assuming. This map shows Orgesa and Wuchale and Hike beyond control of the TDF fighters, although there has not been any confirmation, nor there hasn't been any reports, pictures, any sort of information that indicates Hike has been taken or the TDF has reached as far as Hike. Although there's confirmation of TPLF fighters near Hike, where Honor 16 um, infiltrators were seized south of Wolo near Hike, although there has not been any confirmation that these two towns were taken. Although we can assume that the TPLF have gotten near Hike, um, but we have no confirmation as of yet. But you can get an idea of how far the TDF are pushing and the new offensive they are starting. Before we've seen this push for Debre Tabor around 2 weeks ago, which got as close as Debre Tabor near Gasai, um, which is pretty remarkable for the TDF forces to get so much land in such a few amount of days. Although it looks as the TDF are trying to take Desi and push south, although this is a much harder offensive compared to taking Amhara and going on the B-22 highway, which is less defended, while the Desi road is much more defended with more forces from the south, more likely to be protecting this highway. Uh, we just have to wait until there more news comes out. Although it is still a stalemate at this point. Um, Gashena, especially a stalemate until we get further news. and the A2 highway is still sort of a stalemate, but we have uh, from the reports we're receiving that TPLF fighters are reaching hike. Um, this might be Tigrayan Defense Force victory around these areas, but that is just an assumption. There has been no confirmation. The map is very similar from 5 days ago. There has not been any offensive, although we might be seeing a new offensive to take Desi. This is your update. Um, Hope you enjoyed. Please consider subscribing, liking. I will try to update every single day. Since we haven't really been seeing new updates other than the Berhale offensive that failed, and also the new reports of TPL fighters as far as south as Ike, and reports of Wichale and Urgesa being taken by Wikipedia is a new and major news, which is not confirmed yet, but it is probably more likely assumptions of the reports we're getting. This has been your news. Please consider subscribing, liking. Um, it really helps out. Thank you.